You are now chopping it up with the Nerd Barbershop podcast.
Thank you.
The summer will be heating up before you know it, but your drinks, they don't have to. You can chill out with The Frozen Pour, an anthology of slushy recipes from author Taryn Williams, available on Lulu.com. The Frozen Pour is your guide to icy, flavorful cocktails that'll turn any moment into a celebration. Whether you're unwinding after a long day or hosting the party of the season, there's a slushy for every occasion. They're simple to make, delicious to sip, and cooler than your average cocktail. Why settle for the ordinary when you can pour frozen perfection? The Frozen Pour, an anthology of slushy recipes from author Taryn Williams, is available right now on Lulu.com. Order your copy today and raise a frosty glass of unforgettable flavors.
Welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerd Barbershop podcast. I'm Taryn Williams. Thanks for clicking on this episode of the podcast and hanging on with me for a little bit. So this episode of the podcast, it's probably going to be kind of brief. I really wanted to talk about Maul, Shadow Lord, because I just really enjoyed the show. Honestly, by the time we were recording this episode, I actually just finished it a couple of days ago. And I just really enjoyed it. I want to talk about it a little bit. I don't get into too many details and stuff like that because I'm not a big Star Wars lore person. So I don't know all the little details and all the ins and outs. I don't talk about what I like. And what I liked is just that it was a really fun show. And Maul is actually one of my favorite characters in Star Wars. Like, he's really I just really enjoyed the character. And it's funny because he's actually the character that got me interested in Star Wars when I was younger. To be completely honest with you, I'm not a big Star Wars. Like, I wasn't a big Star Wars fan growing up. I didn't get into Star Wars honestly until the last maybe 8 years, probably. That'd be probably something like that. Maybe within like the last 6 to 8 years, I've probably been a guy a little more into Star Wars. Actually, The Mandalorian is really what got me big into Star Wars. But I always liked Darth Maul. Love the character. I remember when he was introduced. I remember seeing the commercial when I was younger, and we busted out the double lightsaber. I was like, oh, that boy different. It's just one of those really cool things. And so that was really cool. But I just never been like a big Star Wars person. I know a lot of people love lightsabers and Jedi, but it just never really clicked for me. Like, I've always loved medieval weaponry. Like, I love very traditional, long swords, short swords. I love Japanese katanas. Bow and arrows. Like a very medieval, Japanese type, just kind of classic weaponry is really what I've always loved. So lightsaber never really tickled my fancy, if you will. It just wasn't my thing. But I remember seeing the double lightsaber when he was fighting Obi-Wan, and I was like, oh, that boy different. And so that really kind of got me, and like that was really, I love the character. And so, and I know he had like a cool story. Like, I know he's been through so much, but that was like really well. Oh, okay, he's different. I really like. Also, a lot of dark side characters in Star Wars have just really cool designs. Just throw that out there, because Jedi always kind of look the same outside of specific alien species, but Jedi's are kind of Jedi's, and they're like, okay, whatever. But all the dark side characters always look unique. With they have hoods or masks, or just the black, like. And when he busts out the double lightsaber, I'm like, oh yeah, his skin. Of course, he has naturally red skin because his alien species, but then he like grew the black because I think because of his his dark energy from the forest and whatever. It's really dope, and I just really love Maul's Shadow Lord. It's kind of, and I know it takes place. I think it's a little bit before Bad Batch, from Star Wars Bad Batch. It kind of takes place like in that little world. But I just loved the show. I just loved what they did, getting to know him, how you can tell he's evil, he's maniacal, he has a plan. When you get to the little moments, like his vulnerable side, like when he was looking at himself in the reflection, you saw a younger Maul, and you got to see some of the flashbacks of what happened with Darth Sidious when they took him. He was really young to kind of make him his apprentice and make him a dark assassin, make him a Sith assassin and stuff. And all those little moments just so cool, and just really enjoyed it and really loved it. I was actually telling my uncle, I was like, because he started watching me, and I was like, dude, you gotta get to the last 2 episodes. You gotta finish the season. Like, you got to, because this is really good. Because that scene in episode 9 with Vader popping out, I lost my mind. I lost my shit. I'm being completely real with you. I completely lost my mind. I was like, oh my God, they did the thing. I had no idea because this is so early in the timeline. This is before Vader is like a galaxy known thing. When I guess Sidious, Dark Sidious, found him, made him his Vader, made him his new apprentice after he kicked out Maul, of course, after Order 66. And I guess this is like Vader's like probably like his first mission, I guess, kind of like a training mission, if you will. And he's so goddamn strong because because Maul has no idea who he is. Like nobody, Devin and Master Daki, they don't know who Vader, because he hasn't been like a known. He's not a known commodity yet. He's just like, who the hell is this person? And then Daki's like, oh, he's a Sith Lord. He's just so, and Vader was so fucking strong. Like I just love how they just make him overwhelming. Like he's slow and like just kind of like how he moves, very mechanical, but he is so goddamn powerful. And I just love. I don't know why I love that when they do Vader, when they Vader on screen, right? And he's just like just a force. Like he's very much Star Wars Jason, Star Wars Michael Myers. He's just he is a horror movie villain in the Star Wars universe, but he's very real and will cut the shit out of you and will force choke you. Like he just doesn't. It's just how strong he is. It's just the way it looks on screen, and just the moment when he was fighting Maul, and Maul looks like, oh, what the fuck? Like he is like, because Maul even says like, what are you? And of course, Vader's not gonna talk. He just kind of does his breathing, and like, he just has this one arm just going. It's him versus two Jedi's and a former Sith Lord, and they are just they getting handled. Like it's just, man. Does that scene, like the last two episodes with Vader, are so sick, and them just being terrified. I love that. I loved a lot of the backstory, like some of the plots, and of course they had like all the other characters, like the Lawson stuff, with Lawson and Riley, his son. Of course, you have a lot of the Devin story in there with Devin and Daki and Maul, where Maul sees the potential of Devin, he has to like draw it out, so he has to kind of sort of get her to the dark side. Kind of, he can't force her to do it. He has to kind of figure out what to kind of get her to do it on her own. And then of course when Daki's fighting Vader and Maul just kind of leaves them, he just kind of like puts him in a position where he knows Vader's probably going to kill him, and Vader does, and Devin just kind of snaps, and then he's like, oh, we'll get our revenge. I got you. I'll do it. And then it's like she had to turn to the dark side like on her own in a way. And he just kind of like orchestrated it. It was just, man, like, damn, Maul, like, shit, you ain't shit, but you good. Like, my boy, you were dope. And it was just like, it's just such a fun show. Like, I don't wish we got more Maul and less of some of the other hijinks. But I guess you needed that. Like, you needed the kind of other characters that fill out the show. But I was like, Law's like, that just Lawson story was okay. Him and Two Boots and Riley and the stuff between him and his wife and Riley's mom, and just kind of that whole dynamic. We don't see Riley's mom, but like she's a big part. She works for the Empire, and just it's like, okay, it's cool. I wish we could have got more and just more stuff, and then just Devin and Daki. And that would have been fine, because that would have been nice. But you got to fill out the world, fill out the city, fill out extras, with extra characters and stuff like that, so you get kind of the full scope of everyone's kind of like how this is affecting everybody. And of course, with all the crime and stuff going on, how Maul's trying to get his syndicate back and trying to get back on his feet, and just like this is, I mean, the show is really cool. Like I wish they kind of, I would kind of kept it within like Maul, Devin, Daki. Like the losses weren't really necessary per se, like in terms of the overarching story. It just kind of was like a plot device for like the Jedi to have somewhere to go, and just kind of like having like just kind of almost like having people on the ground for the Empire, so you can kind of see like Riley gets taken, so you get to see how the Empire reacts with him and this and that, or like how the Empire reacted with Two Boots, how the Empire reacted with Detective Lawson when they took over. Like like the whole Two Boots Lawson story, I was kind of like, like I don't really care much. I want to get back to like Maul and smugglers and Maul and like the crime syndicates and stuff like that. But I did think the subplot between Maul and Devin was really good, where he really wanted her to be his apprentice, and of course she's Jedi, and then even Rook, his like his right hand, she was like, "Are you sure you want to spend this time?" And he's like, "She has potential," and Rook ended up getting killed by Vader in the last the 9th episode, the penultimate episode of the season, like for the 10 episodes. So in episode 9, she gets killed, but Maul just really believed in Devin. Devin was cold, like Devin has a lot of Ahsoka in her. You can kind of tell, like, but she's like a free thinker. She's a Jedi. She's listed the Jedi way, but you could tell, like, she's like, Maul might not be that bad. Like when her and Maul fought Merrick on the train, that was cool. And even when like Merrick and the 11 brother fought Maul, Daki, and Devin in like the sewer, that scene was really cool. I think that was in episode 8. That's when they was trying to like escape, when they was like getting to the outskirts of the city. They had to go through the sewers. That fight scene was cold. Like, there's some really good shots, because there's like one shot where they all parry each other at the same time. So all their blades like connect. So it's like a 5-way parry where they all block each other. That scene was cool. Whoever orchestrated that, that was like one of my favorite scenes. Like, oh, that's just so sick. Like, this is a really cool moment. This like it's just, and just the way Maul fought, because you don't get because you see Maul fight, throughout since Star Wars pops up. But man, getting to see him, there's like a lot of Maul fighting was just like, I mean, it was cinema. It was pure cinema. Just seeing what he does, his athleticism, just like how he uses his saber and the force, and how he's very elegant and how he attacks. And man, it was just like so dope to see. And then him versus Vader. I'm not sure if Maul and Vader have fought a whole lot in Star Wars canon, but that being like one of the first time that they meet, you got these two dark side, forces going at it. And Maul was getting beat. Like Vader was overpowering him because Vader's just like he's just like a fucking tank. He's literally just a tank. I just love him just popping up and like disappearing, like when they were like trying to escape him, and then Vader just popped through the wall and like try to force choke him through the wall. Like it's just like it's insane, like how strong Darth Vader is and how strong fucking Anakin really is. Like, it just shows you how strong Anakin is as a character in Star Wars lore. It's just like this man was, he with the balance of the force, he could be supremely good, supremely evil. Like it just don't matter. Like he is just so good. If he tapped into either side, he's a problem. So, just seeing this Vader to be a monster, it was just like, oh, it is so sick. It was just so well done. And just again, just seeing Maul scared, because Maul usually he's very cunning, he's very smart, he's very intelligent. But seeing like just the raw strength of Darth Vader scared the shit out of Maul. And Maul being like, oh well, fuck this. But they get some good they get some good hits in, they do some good damage. But it's just like, man, it was such a good this is a good show. It was super fun. Like again, like I said, like I wish we kind of had less of Lawson's and more like this Maul stuff, and him Devin is kind of the force. Like I wish they could have tapped more into that. But you needed this to kind of the sub characters kind of just fill in some of the gaps and just kind of flesh out some more of the city and stuff like that. But I mean, honestly, a cool story between Maul, Devin, and Doc would have been really cool. And I just, kind of cool. We would have got more. Like, I guess what we needed out the. Cause I was like, yeah, 'cause, like when the Empire came, it's kind of like I guess you need some fodder. Like you just need, and since stormtroopers die so easy, like sure, I guess you need Empire here just to kind of show you how much Maul just hates the Empire as much as anybody else, and how he's just on their shit list too because Darth Sidious wants him dead. Because since he's a former, his former apprentice and Sith Lord and all that stuff, he wants nothing to do with him. And Maul like, hey, I just want to get my bread back, want my money up. Like I ain't trying to deal with these fuckers either. So it's just kind of like all the temporary alliances is really cool, you know. But I hope with season 2. I know like there's like places that in the past because Maul is kind of like gone on. 'Cause I know he spoiler alert, I guess. I guess I'm gonna put spoiler alert at the beginning of this episode in the title and stuff like that. But like he dies at the end of Clone Wars to Obi-Wan, I think, or something. I didn't finish I gotta finish Clone Wars, but I know like he ended up dying and becomes a Force Ghost eventually. But like you could tell even he has like good in him. Like he's not pure like evil. He's not evil for still being evil. Like he's evil because Arsidious probably told him like his potential, what he could be. So that's what he did. He listened to his master. But even his master kind of threw him away. So he kind of figured, okay, so who am I? What am I? Where do I go? And he had to figure that out. So I love to get to see that some of that some of the complexity in the show of him dealing with that, him not being a completely terrible person. He does some terrible shit, throughout because of course he does. But and I love like when he talks to Dad, like you hear all these things. I'm not the villain you think I am. Like, I'm not that person. Like, yeah, I've done some shitty shit. Like, I'm trying to protect myself. I'm trying to survive. I'm trying to live. Yeah, I've killed some people. Like, wouldn't you if you survive and try to live and try to get to the next day? Like, yeah, I've killed some people. I've done some stuff. I'm not perfect, but kind of is what it is. I think that's what I enjoy more. We have those type of characters in Star Wars, especially because the Jedi always feel like they're so goody two shoes a lot of time. But we get that duality, and it's just like, yeah, I done some fucked up shit, but I'm just trying to survive like you. Like, come on, like, so it's that bad? Like, it's bad, but is it really that bad? And so this like it's a really fun show. It's really if you enjoy Star Wars, you like Maul, definitely check it out. I wish you got a little bit more like Maul, like wish you got more Maul and less of the Lawsons, like I've said. But it was still fun. The last 3 episodes, episode 8, 9, and 10, are just cinema. They're fun. That's Star Wars at its best, in my opinion. There's action and lightsaber battles and some plot and like some that's when it's as best, and just having, like, really dope characters looking really dope and doing dope things. I think that's like kind of the formula for Star Wars. But I really enjoyed it. Definitely check it out if you're a big Star Wars fan. If you like Maul like me, like definitely watch it. Like it's a little slow in the beginning, but when he comes out, some of the fight scenes, some of the complexities of him as a character and stuff like that is really, really good. So definitely check out Star Wars. Maul, Shadow Lords. Definitely enjoyed it. Definitely hope we get a season 2. I'm pretty sure we will, because you gotta get the story, more of the story of him and Devin. Like, how does she progress and everything. So that has to happen eventually. But thank you so much for checking out this brand new episode of the Nerd Barbershop podcast. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. I know it's been a while since I dropped the podcast. I want to start dropping more podcasts. Hopefully pretty soon. Like, get some more podcasts going, get some more YouTube videos going, got some more cooking stuff. I've just been busy with stuff for the catering business. It's been really positive. Like, I'm really blessed. I got some really good momentum going forward in that. I got a lot of things, got a lot of stuff in the pot, got a lot of things in the fire, got a lot of things going. So like it can feel a little tiring, a little overwhelming in spots, but this is the life I've prayed for. This is the life I've been working so hard to get to. So I'm gonna keep going. And God is my strength and God is my anchor. Like, I got this. And thank you all for supporting me. Thank you all for rocking. Thank you all for staying patient with me as I try to just kind of navigate all of this. And I want to give you guys more content, more consistent content, but also quality content. And that's also super, 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 super important. And so thank you all for following the podcast all around the world and watching it all around the world. I still want to do podcasts for like different regions, different countries. I still want to do that because I love that you guys listen to the podcast internationally. I had no idea when I started the podcast that other people around the country would find it, listen to it, even if it's only for like a couple minutes or a couple of seconds. I greatly appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. So thank you so much. So thank you so much for supporting me. Thanks for supporting the Digital Chef brand as a whole, Slicing Dicing Game Entertainment, the YouTube channel, the book. Thank you so much and of course, thanks for supporting the Nerd Barbershop podcast as well. And always have heard of a Slicing Dicing Gaming. It's not just a motto, it's a lifestyle. I will see you next podcast. Later.